Hi everyone, I'm Airier, and today I'm going to be deciding to do something very stupid. I'm going to watch a video late at night when my wife's already asleep, because this is going to be more of Kitten and Big D's primer on the supernatural, folklore, and whatever not. Yeah, Hunter the Parenting Audiolog 1. We're going to jump right in and hope that nothing loud happens. I'm assuming at some point this video is just going to have a random end, and that end will be me editing out going, "Oh God, love, please, no, not that, please, not that." And by that, I mean she will be forcing me to watch that. Yeah. If you don't know what I mean, I will never say a word about it, and we're just going to leave it at that. It's safer that way. The last thing I want to do is give people ideas, and then they might actually find out, and then I'll see it, and yeah, let's just pass on that altogether. I regret everything. You guys know the deal. Link below, original video, hit up. And when you're done, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let's get started.
More.
Sure thing.
For more.
Sure thing, Sir D.
Now
Now
keep saying
tell
that?
us something else.
What?
Oh, he
Tell
meant
me about
stories.
something
Okay,
else.
not arsenic.
Well,
Definitely arsenic.
there's always our most classic tale.
Loud.
The mysterious red-eyed dog of East Anglia, Black Shuck.
Ooh, you have my incredibly
Black
valuable
Shuck?
attention.
If people hadn't told me these were all real
Black
stories,
Shuck is
ooh,
a mysterious creature. Tales of its appearances date back to at least the 1500s, but
actually, I just said all of these stories people have confirmed in different comments that they're all real, and if it's a dog with red eyes, I'm wondering if this story might actually be the basis for the Hounds of the Baskerville, more like an inspiration for it. I have absolutely no idea, because as much as I'm a massive fan of Conan Doyle, I got nothing on his background. Literally, I got nothing. I literally just read the stories and never looked further. I kind of regret that now in hindsight.
probably
What kind of
stretching
collector of
them
random
further.
trivia am I if I can't even do that?
Stories of a pitch-black hound with dreadful red eyes whose
Dear God,
glow
oh, it's the black
portends
dog myth.
calamity
Oh.
and misery.
So this must be the
You're a
origination
little
of that, or
similar
at least
to a
a
banshee,
common
then,
item.
eh?
I suppose so.
Oh.
But banshees are more direct. The howl of a banshee is meant to reflect an imminent demise and is thought to be a spirit of the dead or some kind of fae or something.
Faye?
Shuck is
Okay, they're actually finally
different.
acknowledging that.
For instance, in 1577,
What?
Shuck was said to have appeared before a large congregation
And again, these
at
are all
the
actual
Holy
myths,
Trinity
so-
Church, shattering through the doors in a clap of thunder.
Oh, don't you usually
Shuck's
see that in a lot of
appearance
stories.
befuddled and terrified the congregation. Pitilessly, Shuck strode through the nave, ripping a man and child to shreds where they stood.
Fuck!
The crowd stood agape before the steeple of the church collapsed down upon them all.
How curious.
Again, this is one of those stories where if people hadn't told me that this was all real lore, at least as far as the stories goes, not the more expanded versions that they'll go into after this would sound like something I would expect to hear out of, well, a D&D setting, or, well, anything to do with World of Darkness, or Old World, New World, take your pick. But because people did say that these were real, I'm actually surprised, because any story from the 1500s that's around that long, or stories of the 1500s that might have come around later, usually that's a more religiously secure time, in the sense that people would not take anything that might imply their religion wasn't going to protect them against the supernatural. So having the ideology or the iconography of a church being defiled and torn down, and something dying in it to something that seems supernatural, it's so weird, because it's usually the exact opposite of everywhere is going to kill you except here, because that was basically how ideas were formed. It's so weird, unless this was a significantly forward time and it was around the Protestant Reformation, in which case maybe the idea of conflicting narratives around churches would be very much, well, we're doing this now as our general mode of thinking, and this previous mode of thinking is now bad, so we're going to have a story that's just going to spring up and we're going to allow and not punish people for saying, because it says that this previous way of thinking is now taboo. Which is normally my thinking around how actual legends form. It's not so much the story itself, it's how people are allowed to express the ideas that they finally get, and through massive amounts of telephone, a legend comes up. That's my personal thinking in reality, where here, I'm almost wondering if this is going to get into some of the more flat-out fantasy aspects now.
Now, this is an exciting story.
Oh, well, it gets even better.
Mass murder wasn't the best
That
part?
very same night, there was a reported sighting in St. Mary's Church. a different St. Mary's, one in Bungay.
Wait, there's actually an name
Black Shuck again interrupted a congregation.
Sure, why not?
This time in a burst of flame. He launched through the crowd, inciting panic and delirium before brushing against two curious individuals in the midst of prayer.
Oh?
Ooh, the anticipation is
Probably them
killing me.
too.
Before those same two suddenly fell dead like marionettes with broken strings.
Oh.
Yes, yes, yes! My boy, I am going to kick this dog! Oh,
Thank you, Dio.
son-in-law, surely you see, this little hellhound is causing a commotion, a ruckus, killing people, eating souls, probably barking, which means it's a victimless crime to experiment on him.
I was going to say, wow, he's just going full on murder bunner. No, experiment though. Yeah, that is a very specific wording. And I don't know really where that leads me to think about anything on Big D. Nice that he has ethics of, hey, I'm going to hurt the ones that don't really need to be worried about. Showing that he's selective of his targets, despite being this. Yeah. Nice that he has some morals. Fuck
Not to dampen
away.
your mood, D, but
just stories.
this all happened in the 1500s.
So it actually was
Time means
in the
nothing.
1500s.
There is not a statute of limitations on being a goblin.
He's
Might
a
actually
dog.
be.
Yes, whatever that is.
Well, I
doesn't know what a
suppose
dog
there are modern sightings, though they're far less dramatic.
Interesting, though, that it seems to be, at least based on the two examples so far, church-related. Definitely seems like something that was an extended hound of telephone. I know. See what I did there? Hound of telephone? Yeah. I'm kind of proud of myself for that one. More importantly, is this leading into the werewolf thing? Probably, because people did say werewolves are going to be awesome.
Yeah, usually people getting spooked and being like, oh no, mate, that's Black Shuck, innit? And it is, and yeah, that's the story there. It's kind
Seriously?
of like...
That's how it goes now?
Propaganda.
What?
It sounds like propaganda.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Perhaps there is a network of these dogs.
What?
A network of dogs running a joint venture to keep the common man quiet about dog crime and
Dog poker. That son of a bitch. Had to be said. That's the best time that's ever going to fit.
What?
And the only dogs I know to do crime are the werewolves.
Oh, it actually goes to werewolves now.
Wait, hang on, you know about werewolves?
My boy, if there is a supernatural pest on this planet, you can assume I have bested it at least once. Remind me to tell you about my mummy adventure
Oh,
sometime.
mummies are in this school.
Mummy...
Oh, second hand, don't. You're British.
Okay, I know the English government has a history of plunder and thievery, but the British Museum can't steal your funny mummy moment.
Presume nothing. Also,
Okay, one. I normally would think he's just bragging about saying if there's something supernatural, he's bested it. But think about just the level of what the fuck he just said. Normally he's insane, which is definitely true. But he's usually telling the truth whenever it comes to crazy things here. Everyone else has been consistently wrong. He's been consistently high as a kite. And more accurate than everyone else. And then not telling anyone else because he's probably thinking it's obvious because he forgot how long he's known it and no one else knows it because no one else learned it because it's been his knowledge, just knowledge. Well, I can't speak today. Knowledge, there's the word, for so long that it's normal even though no one else knows it. I'm assuming he's very old. So yeah, there's one more for the mage category because hunters do not last that long. I've been told none of them last that long. They usually, from what I've been told, the very powerful ones, they kind of go off like bombs. They have their target, and when they get the biggest part of power, usually they die. Apparently, I've been told some don't, but most of them go post-alive at that point. And considering what I've been told about the antediluvian vampires or the heads of werewolves, and let's not even get started on some of the mage shit that just is like, nope. Yeah, goddamn. And we're not going to touch the fairies. Mostly because that just I've heard a few things that's yeah.
Burn your national insurance papers!
What? Why?
The power of true names run eternal, even enmeshed in code.
Oh,
So,
well, that's a
evil
pretty
dog.
standard.
This is a lot to pack
names
in,
have power
and you've barely
setting.
even given me werewolf facts.
Werewolves, that's right. Well, randomly attacking churchgoers certainly fits their
it
MO.
is.
Or at least in the period.
Oh,
Wait, really?
Oh, yeah. For much of their history, werewolves have been insane neo-pagan theocrat berserkers.
what?
You say much of their history. What about now?
These days, they're more like insane neo-pagan theocrat berserkers.
Ah, natch.
But some of them go on the computer.
What?
And in my experience, those ones are typically far better adjusted. Which is ironic, considering the computer is the devil.
I was going to make a point about the computer being the devil from his point of view is kind of weird. But then I just remembered what the internet's made of. And no, he's making a valid point. If you're watching this, you're on the internet. Come on. You know he's right. Also, you have no idea how hard it is right now to not make a joke about, oh, they're literally their fursona. The computer is literally the devil, and I have no regrets about that joke.
Huh. Who'd have thunk it?
I'd have thunk it.
He
But then
did.
that's cheating, because I already knew. But there are things that line up and don't line up about Black Shuck as a
Ooh.
werewolf.
Oh, do tell.
For one, the more recent sightings tend to be rather uneventful, correct?
Interesting how he did say propaganda. Now he's
mostly.
leading into the actual lore
A lot of
D&D.
people just
Wow,
seeing
not
him,
D&D.
maybe something
World of
unlucky
Darkness.
happens afterwards. Links to disappearances from time to time, but nothing so dramatic as murders in the middle of mass.
Would
It could
werewolves
be that
still
this
do that?
werewolf, or possibly werewolves, has simply learned how to better cover their tracks.
Because they're
In the 1500s,
dogs.
outright attacks on religious, scientific, and mystic organizations were more common.
Oh, they attacked everything.
Common. It's common. These days,
They actually left the blooper in. And you can even just hear just that tiny little bit of Kitten in the background laughing. And since they left it, I'm going to say Kitten rather than the actor. So yeah, that's just, cool. They actually added that in. What art? Did they give him different art for that?
common.
They did. It's a good thing I've never had any weird moments where I can't seem to say a word because that's never happened. Also, just realized we're looking at a moor because it looks like a dried swamp, so it's probably more Moorish land.
It's common.
He's British.
These days, you need to keep a low profile to survive. But
Because
there's
the mages will
also
kill you.
the matter of modern sightings. Their banality aligns with a werewolf phenomenon known as the delirium.
Oh?
Charming name.
And despite how
Oh, yeah, werewolf
boring these
delirium. I think I've
modern
heard of that.
sightings are, in Act 1, this delirium is a side effect of the shape-shifting process.
Oh.
Essentially, when a werewolf enters their mighty war form,
they just call it war forms?
human beings tend to panic.
Yeah.
I suppose I might panic too if a giant monster jumped out at me.
And we'll work
Justifiably.
together to break this bad habit, son-in-law. But that's not what I meant.
Yeah, considering his job, yeah, makes
A
sense.
supernatural panic.
Oh.
Supposedly, there's some resonance in the psyche of mankind with werewolves. As this primordial hunter of blah, blah, blah.
I mean, considering what I've been told about how magic with mages works with humans and all humans are feeding into a psychic idea of what is normal, all this blah, blah, blah is literally probably real because that's actually how magic works. Because it's not really magic, it's literally, we believe it, so it is. Most humans believe the world is this and normal, so it is, except for the mages who can break it because they're just fucking bullshit, insane, powerful. But then they usually just kind of go off and do their own thing. And then there's like the paradox, which is also humanity enforcing itself. So technically it's a magic effect based on everything I've been told about, but also it might not be, but it is. But the more I find out about this, the more it's like, what the fuck am I getting into? Also, cool. I'm easily geeked out, and this is very much the geek out sense. So, yeah. I would say, though, that yeah, no, this actually makes sense. What he's saying right here, the blah, 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 especially, it's supernatural panic, but also, at least within the setting as it's been explained to me, with how magic and the supernatural technically works, it would also be completely natural because predator prey, that inspire. Wow, it's a good thing I never make up any words and fuck up what I say. That would be embarrassing. I've got to coom at it now. Yep. Try that one again. Basically, what I'm trying to say, and definitely not screw up my words to say, is it really supernatural if the natural order of magic is actually a naturally occurring process that people believe is natural, but it's not, so it isn't, but it is? You know, that didn't make any more sense in my head, and yet I still can't actually find a fault in my logic where I didn't actually mistakenly say something, because that is technically exactly how magic works in the worst way to describe it. This entire explanation hurts my head. I'm going to move on.
That's true, anyway.
Well,
But nevertheless, when a mortal witnesses a werewolf's war form, they tend to go briefly mad.
mad how exactly?
Paradox?
Well, they might run away, or freeze up, or attack with insane vigor.
What?
Often their reaction depends on the strength of one's will.
So the average person flees?
And usually with no recollection of events.
Smart.
Worse still, it's almost impossible for normal humans to avoid, even in part.
That seems like
One
the
must
smartest
be
option
either
possible.
extremely strong-willed, or supernatural themselves, to avoid delirium completely.
Oh.
Have you ever suffered the delirium, sir?
Oh, no, I'm built different.
I want to say that that's probably not him saying it, because maybe this is more of the changeling option. Also, I'm assuming he was very much involved with a lot of substances that helped with his ability to not even notice. Yeah.
But those without these bulging brain muscles are in for a world of hurt.
Bulging is probably the right
I train
word.
you and the others
Almost like
for
a stroke.
precisely this reason. Discipline, determination.
DMT.
Oh my god, I'm losing my chance for a 3D alliteration. Oh god, help me. Destrucity. That's the
It
word.
actually went off the screen.
Last word's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
Ow, ow. These are the things I instilled
him.
within you with my relentless chicanery.
Oh, that's
Is
actually
that
the
why
word.
you ruined Marcus's 12th birthday by dressing as the goblin?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
That was really traumatic to him. In RS, he exclusively levels his
RS?
combat stats killing goblins.
Then the student has become the master. So
Is he actually proud of the trauma-induced pain?
Anyway.
Yeah,
Hey,
that makes perfect sense.
don't fight a werewolf, by the way.
Yeah, I heard they're tough. But with how well we did in the tunnels against those vampires, I'm confident that...
Yeah, even I know this next part is wrong. People have told me that, oddly enough, not how bad, just in terms of what your chances are to fight a werewolf versus anything else, a low-level mage, you might be able to win. A low-level vampire, you're probably going to die. A low-level werewolf. No. Also, just the general master effect to make anyone not willed in any way, shape, or form run away through sheer delirium sounds really damn useful, because like, I wonder which person here is my enemy that I want to brutally murderize. Change. Hey, it's that guy who's standing over there and looks like they want to murder me. Great! No, it's self-defense. And as joking as that sounds, from what I've been told, that kind of, well, shit is something a werewolf can survive. I don't know anything else about it. People have been very hush-hush about this. They've talked a lot more about changelings, which I then did not understand a bit of. It's weird, and I don't get it. Hell, they've even talked more about Wraith, which I then blotted from my memory because it's depressing as fuck. But not much about werewolves, though. I wonder why. Because it was coming up.
No,
What?
But,
you aren't ready to fight a werewolf.
oh shit, he's being
son-in-law.
serious.
Not yet.
Like, flat out,
The fledglings
not
we
even
fought were
crazy.
fearsome, yes, but a werewolf. Listen well. Werewolves are killing machines.
Oh,
They
damn.
are supernatural soldiers fighting a war we barely understand.
Wait, what?
Do not fight them.
I'll take your warning to heart, sir.
Now that is a very interesting phrasing. Supernatural soldiers fighting a war we barely understand, including both his family, himself with we, and I'm assuming humanity. Honestly, based on that, it almost sounds like, as he's explaining it in his personal experience with it, is the delirium isn't a downside. It's a safety mechanism so that there's no casualties outside of voluntary targets. Oh, it's literally a safety feature. Huh. That's actually kind of cool. It's both a master effect to make people run away from you, but also the fact they don't remember, so you can hide your own fighting because it's considered a war. It's even called a war form. Big D is very knowledgeable about them, even that there is a war they're fighting and he doesn't understand it. Oh shit, now I really want to find out more.
But what if we're forced to?
You die?
Their weakness is silver, due to their combat with the moon.
Oh.
Silver bullets, silver knives, use them. Focus on evasion and trickery.
It's
When
kind
they're
of
at their
terrifying when
most
he's
dangerous,
serious.
they're at their most feral. Blind them, distract them. Trust your wits, not your fists.
Right. I understand.
Okay, I'm going to be completely serious here. All his craziness is funny as hell, but the fact that he just went brutally sane, he didn't go crazy, he didn't even make a random ha face like I'm so proud, or we could beat him, or if we do this, it's actually kind of intimidating to see someone who's so over the top bullshit insane being serious and helpful and not cryptic. He's very much saying, don't try to trick them, use what they're weak against. And I think every single one of us can hear the words he's not saying, which are, and you're probably going to die. God damn. That's brutal.
Good. Because it's omelet time!
Shit, I forgot the omelet! It's burning!
Not! It's just the way I like it.
And that was the next part of Kitten and Big D's primer on the supernatural and local folklore, Hunter the Parenting Audiolog 1. Still not done with it, but honestly, at this point, I want to take some time really to focus on all the comments here. I could go on further. Oh, no, I just saw the time. And that is my wife outside the door. I was wondering what that sound was, and okay, so maybe I should have stopped a while ago, and I probably shouldn't have got as loud as I did, and I'm going to be in trouble. On the upside, my couch is very comfortable. On the downside, I'll just see if we have some extra blankets. Oh, it's going to be a long night. Oh, well, all the same, this is so cool. I love seeing what is serious, what makes him really focus in and lose the veneer of insanity. And the second he moves to a different topic, I cannot speak today. Topic, there we go. There's an O in that word. Topic. The insanity comes up. The crazy, batshit, arsenic-eating, probably something that's used to clean off the underside of a nuclear silo level of monstrosity that is his omelet. In a very loose sense, technically it would count. Because I'm sure there's an egg in there somewhere. It's in the art. Yeah, he's that kind of crazy. But for a second there, he was super serious. And god damn, I think it's Speaker D who does the audio for him. I'm just going to check right now. And okay, art by scriptwriters. Okay, where are the voice actors? Oh, Speaker D as Big D. Yeah, Speaker D. Oh wow, I'm so used to hearing him as, well, from Warhams. It's just weird not to hear the overtone. Didn't even realize for a second there. But just god damn, man, brilliant, and just how gravitas his voice was, and just you could tell exactly when it switched. And just, I love these kind of voice interactions. So you get so much movement just from the audio aspects. It's something TTS did really well, and it's something this is carrying through really damn well. I love this. Again, though, if anyone knows anything about werewolves, let me know. Just how fucked up are we talking here? Because based on what he said, yeah, no, it's a solid, we're not going to do this. The fact that he claimed he could fight a werewolf because he said he could fight anything supernatural. Because I'm pretty sure the way he phrased that was they would die, not he would. That's quite the boast. And honestly, with how much DMT he's usually on, I'm assuming he probably doesn't recognize the passage of time. partially because of how old he most likely is, and partially because the clouds taste like cotton candy made of unicorn. Yeah. So all the same, you guys know the deal. Link below, original video, hit it up. And when you're done, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.